Welcome back to Misery Sports Co., the only company where productivity is low, morale is lower, and the only thing we're reinvesting in is disappointment.
That's right, we're your overworked, under-resourced executives of emotional collapse. I'm Zach.
And I'm Trevor, and here at Misery Sports Co., our teams may never win, but our therapy bills always do.
Yes, they do. Every week we clock in, open the spreadsheet of suffering, and review another fiscal quarter of pure sports misery. Last week we spent time in the break room and took a look at Nico Harrison, gave our thoughts on the GM position, and wondered if they cared about us at all.
I don't think they do, to be frank. I think that's where we ended. They don't care about us, but maybe they'll start to. This week, we'll be back to our regular deep dive segment brought to you by Zach. But before we begin, let's clock a mandatory training video from our first sponsor.
Why, yes. This first segment is going to be brought to you by Jameis Winston's YOLO Decision Lab, studying the art of saying, screw it, someone's down there, since 2014. Thank you, Jameis. I freaking love him. So
Thanks, Jameis. I do too, which is weird because I didn't think I would get to the point where I do, but I really do. I really love him because it was him and Marcus that came out that same year, and he went first to the Bucks. And gosh dang it, I still love him.
Yeah, and he had, the full Jameis Winston experience this week. He started for the New York Giants. He had a touchdown where he had a quarterback sneak and a really awesome celebration, and then had the back-breaking interception with about 30 seconds left in the game. So that is the Jameis Winston experience.
That was a terrible route by that receiver, though. He just stopped running.
It was. It made it look
route.
way worse.
That was a bad route.
Yeah.
Putting our boy Jameis in a bad spot. Well, thanks, Jameis, and your YOLO balls. We love you, buddy. All right. With that, let's head to the weekly earnings report where the numbers are ugly, the trends are worse, and the auditor just flat out refuses to make eye contact.
That's right. And I will go around to some of my sports teams. We'll start with the Blue Jackets. They lost again last night. Still kind of middling, right? You're in that weird space where you're not completely garbage, but you're just in the middle. You're not going to probably go to the playoffs. You're not going to get a great draft pick. You're just in purgatory.
It's the worst place to be.
Yeah, it is. Completely agree. Cavs were doing all right. Looks like they lost to the Rockets tonight, so we're just going to continue the losing streak. Let them live. It's the NBA regular season. I mean, the first half is essentially preseason. And then we get to the main course, which is, once again, the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns hosted the Baltimore Ravens. Myles Garrett had 4 sacks in this game.
Mercy.
4.
Mercy.
He's already had a game where he had 5 sacks. So he had 4 sacks, and we lost. So Dylan Gabriel ended up getting knocked out of the game. He was 7 for 10 for 68 yards. That's not bad. But yeah, he got concussed, and so Shadur Sanders came in, and he had a great game. He went 4 for 16, 47 yards and an interception. Didn't look prepared at all. It was just another typical Browns loss at this point, right? So you do all the right things on defense. It doesn't matter. Every back-breaking play that you could imagine happens in these games, and so you have to play a perfect game. We did not. We are just marching our way to the number 2 pick.
Chill. You chill. You can take number 2 and it'll be fine. But you got to see Shadur. What'd you think?
He was not great. So it looked like someone who's never practiced with the starting team, which is exactly the case. They've never given him any practice reps with the receivers he was throwing to. Yeah. He did his patented, I'm going to try to break out of the pocket. I'm going to go all the way back and take a sack. So, he's got a full week this week. He's going to be practicing with the first team, and he should start this week. Against another 2-8 team, the Las Vegas Raiders. So we'll see. I think this will be a good measuring stick because we're both just hot garbage.
Especially on offense. That Raiders offense is terrible.
Yes.
So bad.
Yes, it is. So, Trevor, how'd your portfolio perform?
Yeah, mostly the same. This was another one of those weeks where I sat down to jot some notes down about the recap, and I genuinely could not remember what happened. Like, the memory of Titans football just, I had already left it, sent it out of my mind. I was in a happier place, and then I had to remember that we lost to the CJ Stroudless Texans 16-13 in what has to be one of the ugliest football games in the history of humanity. Honestly, our sport, whatever sport we've been playing since caveman times, I think this takes the cake. Like, before forward passes were a thing, like, this is still the ugliest game of all time, for several reasons. First, would it surprise you to know that our top 3 wide receivers got hurt all in the same game? Our top 3 wide receivers. Now, mind you, our top 3 receivers are like a number 2 and then 2 number 4s on other teams. Like, we're already talentless when it comes to that position. And all 3 of them got hurt. So Cam was throwing to practice squatters for most of the game. Calvin Ridley broke his fibula, so that dude's done. Oh. Yeah, he's I think he's played his last game as a Titan, so add him. You know the meme where they're all welcoming people to heaven, and we've got like Randy Moss, and we've got Julio Jones up there. So like another Tyler Lockett's up there, another washed old receiver just stopping by the Titans saying hey before they go off to football heaven. We gave up 274 yards to Davis effing Mills. 274 yards to that guy.
Yikes.
A little fun blast from the past. Nick Chubb is on the Texans. He only had 17 yards on 3 carries, but I still have my Nick Chubb Browns jersey, which I conned the NFL into giving me after I bought a $30 OBJ jersey and sent it in. I still really like it.
Yeah, because he got traded, right? So he got traded, so you got the opportunity to trade in your jersey.
He did. Through the jersey insurance program or something. I was like, I don't know, can I have a Nick Chubb jersey? And they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Honestly, you know, like we've talked about, at this point, you just want to see signs of hope from Cam with our absolute dog crap offensive line. And I saw signs of hope. He only got sacked 3 times, which it's sad that that's progress, but it is. The Titans were up 3-0 at half. That's how ugly this football game was. Our first possession out of halftime, Cam had a really nice drive, and we had 4th and 2 from the Houston 28. And you know what we did? Interim Mike doesn't want to lose that job, so he said, kick the field goal. So we went up 6-0 and then immediately gave up a touchdown, and we're down 7-6. Just like, what's the point? You have nothing to lose. Just go for it all the time. It's the 28-yard line. You gave up 0 points in the first half. Like, just go for it. More cowardly coaching is just driving me crazy. Cam had a really nice drive with 3:35 left to get a game-tying touchdown in 2 minutes. A really nice 40-yard throw, had a nice 15-yard scramble. So, like, there were signs. There was absolutely signs. Our right tackle is booty and had 3 false starts in the first 2 drives at home.
Drives me nuts. Absolutely nuts.
It's just unforced. Like, there's no reason to commit those. It's the first drive of the game, and he had 2 false starts. But what are you going to do after, I'll tell you what we're going to do. After tying it up 13-13, you know what we're going to do? We're going to let them convert on a 3rd and 16 to kick a game-winning field goal. That's what we're going to do. So, more kicks to the crotch.
That's a hard part with these. That's a hard part with these games is with the Browns and the Titans. It's so hard to tell how good our quarterback is doing because it's a miracle of God to get a play that is successful. Yes. The offensive line is either going to let someone through and they're going to get crushed, or they're going to deliver a beautiful ball and the wide receiver is just not going to catch the ball. And so it's like, I don't really know what I'm seeing here. I think you're okay. Like you said, Cam Ward, you're looking good. The rest of the team just needs to get way better.
just everywhere. If we can find like 7 starters in this next draft, I think we're gonna be
Super
in
solid.
really good shape if we can just do that. And it's already starting the debate of, do you keep spending these high picks on offensive line? Because it's not like we haven't tried. We're just really bad at it. And I swear if we draft another Alabama offensive lineman, I'm going to scream. Like, the book is out on offensive linemen from Alabama. Stay away. Okay, it doesn't work. So just stay away. We have tried it several times. It didn't work. Do we keep investing, or do we go edge rusher, or do we somehow? I saw, I'm already looking at mock drafts. I was looking at mock drafts like week 3. It didn't take me long. I lost hope quick. And Titans, I feel confident, Zach, that we're going to have the top pick. I feel very confident, more confident than I have felt about anything Titans related in a very long time. Myles Garrett had how many sacks this past week?
4.
Okay, I'm here to tell you he's putting up half a dozen when they play the Titans later this year. At least half a dozen. He's going to set the single game sack record. I don't know what it is, but he's going to set it. He's going to absolutely feast. So I'm confident that the Titans will have the top pick. I would love to see us trade down. I guess I didn't really think the quarterback class was that great, but people really love Mendoza. They really love the kid from Alabama. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hate Simpson. There's just a lot of unknowns because, this is the first full season for Mendoza, with the actual competition. Simpson looks good in the SEC.
Yeah.
I agree. Trade down if you can. It
Absolutely.
Sounds also like this draft is just horrible for offensive linemen, which is exactly what the Browns need. So we're going to draft just a super average player who doesn't even want to play for us. Actually, so it's funny you say that. Jedrick Wills was from freaking Alabama. He was their right tackle for Cleveland. He didn't even sign another contract. He was a first-round pick, I think, if not second round. And at the end of his career, he started pulling himself out of a game for business decisions. He literally said, "This is a business decision." So I agree. There's no Alabama offensive line allowed in the Cleveland Browns locker room.
That's business.
Yeah.
Did he just do the Johnny Manziel money sign? This is coach. Sorry.
So
Good luck with all that.
stupid. He is still not signed, so clearly he doesn't want to play the game of football, but
Oh my god.
let him live.
Yeah, let him live. Mavs, the vibes are better now that Nico's gone. The on-court product is not better. I am getting the full D'Lo experience. Good golly, what a ride. It's just been all over the place.
Great for Ohio State. When he was at Ohio State, he was awesome.
Yeah, loved it.
NBA, not so much.
No. And he will have stretches where you're like, I get it. I see it. This is amazing. And then immediately following that stretch, he will not pass for 4 straight possessions and score 1 point. So it's really frustrating, but it is what it is. At least Nico's not there. And the Stars, unfortunately, the 5-game win streak came to an end last night. They scored with 0.1 second left to tie the game, but it was disallowed on a questionable goalie interference call where I think our guy got pushed into the goalie, but what do I know? It's kind of like a catch in the NFL at this point. The general consensus among fans is nobody knows what goalie interference is anymore. It's just whatever they decide. So
Fun times.
surprise, more shockingly poor performances once again.
Investor confidence gone. Stock valuation in free fall. Emotional return on investment negative.
Shock. Let's try to stabilize this market with a message from our next sponsored catastrophe. This next segment of the Misery Sports Company podcast is brought to you by Paul Pierce's emergency wheelchair. You ever been minding your own business at work and all of a sudden that bubble gut hits you because you ordered cheese enchiladas topped with more cheese, even though the waiter was like, "Are you sure?" And you basically had to double down like, "Yes, I'm sure," and then clean the plate to prove a point. And now things are happening down there. And you try and float an air biscuit, but it's more than you bargained for. Well, hey, just tap the app on your phone that says the truth and start grabbing your knee in pain, and instantly a wheelchair will appear and you'll be whisked away to thunderous applause with Paul Pierce's emergency wheelchair.
He's not, I don't feel like he's ever denied it either.
No.
That's the weird part.
No, he has
just
not.
Out there, and
I swear, my memory is like he told the story once and then like immediately was like, "Oh, stories," but didn't come out and say like, "I was joking." And so like, what else are we supposed to believe? I'm pretty sure that happened.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much, Paul Pierce, for your wheelchair. I hope I never have to use it in that way, but let's head down to the mailroom where the floor is sticky, the envelopes are soggy, and the tweets are somehow worse. Trevor, what was stuck to the bottom of your inbox this week?
I've got 3 submissions for the mailroom this week. I am going to start with Bloff. I'm guessing BLAHF7. Thanks, Bloff. Very just bluntly says everything about the Tennessee Titans franchise is an embarrassment to the sport of football. I totally agree. Thank you, Bloff. Sean Foss points out on Twitter, an interesting stat that contextualizes some of Tennessee's offensive struggles. Says it's hard to pile up tackles when the other team isn't running the ball. Only the Bengals have fewer rushing attempts per game than the Titans. Tennessee also has been trailing on the scoreboard for just over 78% of their offensive plays this season. Good gracious. But finally, my winner, my top submission for the mailroom this week is from Cornelius Ferguson on Twitter, who really, Cornelius, you belong at MSC. Listen to this. All kids pick good teams as their favorite as kids, and I bandwagon Tennessee teams in pre-K in 97, 98. I stuck with them all these years, and neither has been shit since the day I joined them. Fuck the Titans and the Vols. I feel that in my soul. You get stuck with these teams as a kid, and you just have to stick with them.
Hey, props to him for continuing to fight through. He's got a spot at Misery Sports Co., that's for sure.
That, absolutely. Props to him. Zach, what's clogging up on your side of the chute?
So I actually have 2. One is from Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. So he had his press conference, and Jalen Ramsey ended up getting ejected, actually, because he got into a fight with Jamar Chase. As it turns out, after the game, there was additional video, and Jamar Chase actually spit in his face. And so this was Mike Tomlin's response to a question about how a player should react to being spit at.
I have no message if someone spits in your face. Do what comes natural.
You know what? He's the head coach for the Steelers, my arch nemesis. I freaking respect this guy so much. He's just like, so much. Someone spits in your face, just throw hands. Like, what do you do? Like, what are you gonna
do? Remember, there was like 2 weeks where people were like, I don't know, I think the Steelers are going to fire him or try and trade him. All of Titans Nation was praying to whatever gods you believe in to please Mike Tomlin come stabilize this franchise. I would sign him to a lifetime contract right now.
100%.
I respect him so much.
He's like Mike Vrabel. I mean, he just instills a culture. It's toughness, it's discipline, it's accountability. It's stuff like that. It's like, hey, if someone spits in your face, like, punch them. Like, you're allowed to do whatever you want at that point. This is football. Like, that's way outside of the lines of what's allowed. And so I appreciate a coach that is upfront, is honest, and is very quick to the point. Like, okay, why are you asking me this question?
Absolutely.
But my winner here is another Brown stat. It actually comes from at Stool Gambling, which sounds like a stool softener, but it's Barstool Gambling. Browns QBs in their first career start have never won. In the history since 1999, since the return,
Goodness.
they've had 17 quarterbacks in their first start lose. 0-17. Shadur Sanders did not technically have the loss last week because Dylan Gabriel started.
That's right.
He will now try to break this curse.
This week.
It's
gonna
I think it's going to be 0-18.
No,
I think
it's gonna happen.
I don't know.
That's a lot, man. That is a lot. Beautiful, chaotic, concerning. It's pretty much our brand.
That's right. So let's see which sponsor forgot to opt out this week. For our next segment, this is sponsored by Lane Kiffin's Trick Play Tinder. Swipe right for gadget plays. Trick punts and reverses guaranteed to confuse everyone, including your quarterback. Vote for Joey.
Oh, Lane. Thankfully, well, not thankfully, because it's still not dead yet. You've seen all the chatter connecting him to the Titans this week, I assume.
No, I haven't.
Yes, I'm telling you, that is all I've seen. So, like, there's been he's going to go to Florida, or, Ole Miss is giving him an ultimatum to commit or whatever. And so many people are running with Lane Kiffin to the Titans. I don't want that.
Oh, man. That's like Sark. That's like Steve Sarkisian from Texas. That's not...
You've been trying to put that evil on me for weeks now. Don't you say
Sark
that
will be his
anymore.
offensive coordinator. We don't know.
No,
we don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that amazing offense against Georgia that went super well.
Yeah. Well, it's time to step into the office of moral victories, where performance reviews are meaningless and the bar is on the floor.
That's right. My employee of the week this week is former Ohio State wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba. He has set a new NFL record, having at least 75 yards receiving in the first 10 games of this season. In 10 games, he's already eclipsed his 17-game total from last year. He is just over 1,100 yards with 5 touchdowns and has just been an absolute stud. And I know Ohio State has had just this absolutely insane run of wide receivers, just absolutely crazy. And I feel like JSN sort of gets lost in that a little bit. But he was an absolute stud. And I had to know, because I had like sort of half remembered memory or dreams of like the Rose Bowl against Utah. So I went and looked it up. In that game against Utah, he had 347 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns, and he would have had another, but he fumbled into the end zone like halfway through the game, but he would have had another. He just absolutely lit the world on fire that day. CJ Stroud had 573 yards passing and 6 touchdowns. It was just stupid.
And we lost him for the next season. So he was actually injured. He got injured in the Notre Dame game. It was like the second game of the season, and he never came back. So it was just Marvin Harrison. He was better than Marvin Harrison, in my opinion, and clearly he's showing it. No disrespect to Harrison, but I mean, what could have been playing Georgia that year and having, JSN with Marvin Harrison, like he's just a problem. He's really good at getting open. He makes yards after catch. Like, he's fantastic. And
he's so good. He's such a stud.
There's so many Ohio State wide receivers right now, and obviously we're homers, but it's just like, just draft a Buckeye wide receiver. I mean, go after Carnell Tate this year. Like, just you're gonna have production.
Absolutely. They look so great. So shout out to you, JSN. Keep doing your thing. We are proud of you.
My employee of the week, I'm actually going to stick with the Browns. I typically don't do this after a loss, but Myles Garrett with 4 sacks again. So through 10 games, Trevor, he has 15 sacks. 15. I think the sack record's 22.5. So he's got
straight
7.
Right?
Yeah, he's got 7 games to do basically 8 sacks.
He's gonna
and
get that in the Titans game, dude. If
You're
he just
giving me
played
the
one more game this season, he would be fine. And then everybody would be like, yes, he gets the record because he only played. I know we're in 17 games now, but my God, what a stud.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at, I don't even know when the Titans are. They're a few games down the road, but that could be the clincher there. We don't know.
It will be. And but Strahan's last sack on, was it Brett Favre? It was somebody.
Yeah,
it was so
he
weak.
went down.
Yeah, they let him through. Myles Garrett doesn't have to do that against the Titans.
Oh, he's getting doubled and triple teamed every single play, and he still got 4 sacks. He had 5 sacks in one game this season as well. He's ridiculous.
Jeez.
And then I wanted to shout out, so it's kind of just random, but the Panthers are 6-5. I know we've, thrown some shade at their QB, Bryce Young, but 6-5, and the Bears are 7-3. Like, shout out to the Panthers and the Bears.
Yeah.
They're getting it done. Missouri Sports Co. Hall of Shame, if you will, but like they're producing, and we applaud that. We like to see that.
Yes.
So
Chicago's coach, Ben Johnson, is what the Titans thought Brian Callahan was going to be, and that was a huge mistake. So I'm glad Ben Johnson's working out. He's great.
Yeah, and it shows you that, a QB, like Caleb Williams can go from really bad one year to pretty good the next year. Enough to go 7-3 at this point, so shout out to those teams.
Keep on keeping on. Congratulations to all the honorees. Your awards will be framed, forgotten, and immediately lost in HR's inbox.
All right, let's move into this week's Deep Dive, our investigative department, where we take a long, unflinching look at a tortured fan base. This week, we will be examining, drumroll please, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh,
from
Pelicans,
the NBA.
That's a good one.
So this is a really interesting story. There's so many different versions of this team. So officially, they are founded in 2002, which seems really early, but they actually treated it as an expansion team in the NBA. So this team actually originated from the New Orleans Hornets, is what they were previously called, which was the Charlotte Hornets at the time. So they relocated in 2002, and we'll get to that. So a little bit of history about basketball in New Orleans. 1967 to 1970, they were the New Orleans Buccaneers. That was a professional team. They ended up relocating to Memphis. 1974, they gave them an expansion franchise, the New Orleans Jazz. Okay, that makes sense.
All the sense in the world. All of the sense.
Eventually relocated to Salt Lake City in 1979.
Where they changed the name, surely.
The Utah
because
Jazz.
It
just
doesn't make sense there. Why?
Which we will get back. We will get back to that, which is really funny. But during that time, right in the 70s, when it was in New Orleans, they actually had Pistol Pete Maravich. I found during that time, so there was some level of history here. For a while, they just didn't have a professional team. In the 90s, in 1994, Minnesota wanted to relocate, so the Timberwolves wanted to move to New Orleans, but the league said, no, your financial situation sucks. You have to stay in Minnesota. Minnesota just has to eat it.
Jeez.
So sorry, Minnesota. But now it's paying off.
That's true. Yeah, they're in a good way.
Yeah, so in the 90s, the Charlotte Hornets at the time were pretty competitive. They were doing pretty well. They had a pretty good team. But their owner, George Shinn, was just not a great human being. So he actually went on trial for...
A sports team owner is not a great human being? Shut up.
He went on trial for sexual assault or sexual abuse. Was ultimately acquitted, but reputation completely tarnished. And he thinks, hey, I should probably leave Charlotte. That seems like a good idea.
Fair.
So he looked at, Memphis in 2001.
Yeah.
So it was between the Charlotte Hornets and the Vancouver Grizzlies. He lost. He looked at St. Louis. He said, I got to get out of here. Give me St. Louis. Didn't work out. Shocker. No, I don't think has there ever been a St. Louis franchise in the NBA.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Yeah, I mean the NFL pieced out. The NBA, I don't think has ever been there. I don't understand that.
Maybe they had like an ABA team back in the day, but I don't remember an NBA team.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So in 2002, the NBA approved their move, the Charlotte move to New Orleans. So they became the New Orleans Hornets at that point. And the NBA promised Charlotte an expansion team, which became the Charlotte Bobcats. That's a whole other story, probably worth a deep dive. Horrible history with that franchise.
So bad.
Michael Jordan was the owner. Maybe he still is. It's just bad. So their first season, right, when they're in New Orleans, they actually had a pretty decent start. They went to the playoffs. They were 47-35. Those first 2 seasons, they make it to the playoffs, but it's first round exits, which becomes a theme. The biggest mistake that I think this ownership group, team, whoever made was in 2004 when they went to the Western Conference. So they were originally in the East. Things were easy in the early 2000s. I'll tell you that much. With LeBron, like, yeah, you had the Pistons, eventually the Celtics, but it was not a deep conference. And you remember it differently because you were on the Western side during that time.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So big mistake. They went 18-64 that year. They've had some success here and there. And in 2005, I think their biggest win was drafting Chris Paul. So they drafted Chris Paul.
Yeah, they
number
did.
4.
Yeah.
But actually during that time, they had to move from New Orleans because of Hurricane Katrina for 2 years and had to play their games at Oklahoma City. Wow. So they were the OKC / New Orleans Hornets during that time. And that was Chris Paul's first few years actually with the team. Really strange situation.
Wow.
So they returned in 2007 back to New Orleans, got the NBA All-Star game, and actually had some pretty good seasons. Around that time, 07-08, they went 56-26, won the division, beat the Mavericks, and lost to the Spurs in the conference semis. I'm sure Chris Paul just pick and rolled you to death, as he would.
Yep.
And in 2010,
wasn't Rick
the
Carlisle
NBA
coaching there during that time?
I think it was Alvin Gentry.
Oh, that's right.
There was like Alvin Gentry, and then there were a couple of well-respected coaches during that time. They just couldn't get over the hump. Another really weird situation in 2010, they got bought by the NBA. Do you remember that? When they got purchased, Shin literally sold the team to the NBA and Stern. And if you remember, they tried to trade Chris Paul to the Lakers.
That's what I remember is them trying to trade Chris Paul and then being like, no, we're going to step in and say, nope. Because Mavericks fans were like, what do we have to do to get a Chris Paul situation around this Luka thing? Like, can they step in and be like, this is done?
Exactly. And so we were in college, that news came down, and we were like, what are you talking about? How do you just deny a trade? And it seemed like a decent trade. So Chris Paul goes to the Clippers. That era ends. No championships, just a lot of first-round exits. 2012, they get acquired by Tom Benson, and his wife, I believe her name is Gail, is now the owner. Another interesting thing, Tom Benson owns the Saints, and he just bought, at the time, the New Orleans Hornets. Wow. So he owns New Orleans sports at this point. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
This is where some of the NBA, I don't know, deep dive into is the draft rigged. In 2012, they end up getting Anthony Davis with the number 1 pick. So they won the lottery. They get Anthony Davis. People think it's just because of all the Stern stuff, right? Messing with trades, doing this, that, or the other. We'll never know.
Yep.
We'll never know. But this is right around the time when they renamed to the New Orleans Pelicans. So the brown pelican is the state bird of Louisiana. And so that's what they went with. And this is where ties back into Utah. He first approached the Utah Jazz and said, "Bro, give me my name back."
Good.
There's no Jazz in Utah.
There isn't.
No.
No.
So
It could be
Utah.
like the Utah abstinence or something. Like the Jazz just makes no sense in Utah.
Yeah, the Utah Mormons. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Utah politely declined. At the time, the ownership group really liked the New Orleans Brass and the New Orleans Crew, Krewe, allegedly. I can't imagine that they put that out into anything public, but it was reported. So again, they rebrand, and the other interesting thing is, right at the same time, the Charlotte Bobcats are like, we hate this franchise, we hate our name, we're going back to the Hornets.
Yep.
And New Orleans just gave them back all the history. So they said 1988 to 2002, here you go, Charlotte, you get all this.
They're real ones for
These-
that. They're real ones.
these
I think
records.
it was harder for Utah to do that because they had the Karl Malone Stockton days where it was like they're tied to the Jazz, whereas they're like, well, it's been crap here, so like you can have all this back. It's totally fine. We're looking to move anyways. But they're real ones for that. That's cool.
Yeah, so they're considered an expansion franchise starting in 2002. Some of the players that they've drafted, or traded for, they've acquired some talent. So they had DeMarcus Cousins at one point, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram was pretty good.
Yeah.
Josh Hart with the Knicks, pretty solid. Drew Holiday, he was with the Celtics. He went elsewhere, solid player. Tyreek Evans was okay. And now they've landed on Zion Williamson. So they took Zion with the number 1 pick. I just don't understand Zion at all, Trevor. He's always out of shape or getting injured. Something's going on. He has incredible talent, but
Absolutely.
again, it's one of those picks that it doesn't seem like it's working out. I hope it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that draft,
okay.
the Zion draft, the New Orleans had the same percentage chance to get that pick as Dallas did. Because I remember thinking when they moved up, like, oh my gosh, that could have been the Mavs. Like, think what would have happened if we got Zion. Like, this would be amazing. And now you look back on it, it's like, thank God we didn't, like, draft Zion. Because it's just been an exercise in frustration. Because like you said, the talent is there. Just the drive to condition and chase after the greatness that he clearly could achieve if he wanted to just doesn't seem to be there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is physically imposing when he is healthy, when he is in shape. He's an incredible athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Looking at, just the last 23 seasons they've been in existence, 852 wins, 998 losses. So not great. Last season was bad, 21-61. They've made it to the playoffs 9 times. Out of those 9 times, first round exits in 7 of those playoff trips.
When was the last time they made it?
That is a good question. It was recently. I would say within the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay. It feels like a long time, but just because they've been so bad lately.
Yeah, I'll have it for you. So they made it, 2 years ago, 2023-24. They lost to the Thunder. They got swept. I remember watching them in the playoffs, and they didn't have Zion at that time. Like, he wasn't even playing. They just had a good collection of talent. They went 49-33 that year. So best of luck to the New Orleans Pelicans. We're rooting for you. But that is going to be recorded in the history books for Misery Sports Co.
Indeed. Tragic, historic, deeply preventable, everything we expect in a proper MSC case study.
And that concludes our deep dive. Please direct all follow-up questions to HR, who will not be returning your calls.
Shocker. Nobody's running those phones. Speaking of wasted effort, here's a word from our next sponsor. Need to look like you know what you're doing at work because inside your head you're thinking, oh my God, I have no idea how I got this job. Well, now you can with Dr. Hoffenbrau's oversized glasses. Dr. Hoffenbrau has provided glasses to the stars. Think about Jason Kidd's thick-rimmed glasses Mike McDaniel's 1970s serial killer glasses, and of course, Quinn Snyder's cocaine residue-filled red-rimmed frames. Distract them from the product on the field and court with Dr. Hoppenbrau's oversized glasses.
Love those glasses. I remember J Kidd in those glasses asking one of his players to hit him while he had a cup of water, and I just will never forget that moment. I'll never forget it.
Stupid.
And he wanted like a break in the play
too.
or something.
Yeah, it was when he was coaching Milwaukee, I think. He was like, hit me, bump him to me. So dumb. Like, we can all see that. Gosh.
Coach, there are 8 HD cameras on us right now.
They're all pointed at us. So stupid.
Well, thank you so much to the glasses producers out there. At Misery Sports Co., we believe in ending every meeting with something resembling hope, even if it's delusional. My pep talk of the week this week actually goes to the Saints and Pelicans fans. So in doing this deep dive, I didn't fully grasp that the Saints and Pelicans are actually owned by the same ownership group. When that's good, that could be really good. When it is bad, I can't imagine watching both of your teams. No. The Saints and the Pelicans are both bad right now. They are struggling and being like, oh, man, well, at least I don't have the same. Wait, it's the same ownership group. Like, I don't. Golly. There's no way out.
No. When it's bad, it must be terrible. Imagine if I was dealing with Jerry Jones owning the Mavericks right now. I would lose my flipping mind.
It's insane. I can't even think about it. Like, how do you even have the time to own, lead, and direct 2 massive sports teams? And then when you're bad at it, as a fan, it just weighs on you because you're like, I can't change anything. Nothing's going to change.
That's brutal. Stay strong. Stay strong, New Orleans fans. My pep talk of the week goes to Mikko Rantanen, the all-star forward for the Dallas Stars that we traded for last year, who is an absolute stud. We have never, in the history of the Dallas Stars, we have never had anybody quite like Mikko Rantanen. His nickname is the Moose because he is just a giant, solid specimen. Really fast, really skilled forward, is excellent. And last night, during the game, he unfortunately committed a very serious boarding penalty late in the third. Now, I'm obviously super biased, so I'm a homer here trying to explain away like a very serious penalty. But it all happened very quickly, and he had some contact from a player behind and sort of lost balance, but he did straight up shove somebody at full speed straight into the boards, and I'm pretty sure that person shattered their collarbone and probably their arm. And
he allegedly hit
allegedly
them, allegedly.
It was all alleged.
Hear me out.
And guess what? I just heard before the show that the league is not gonna take any action against him. So interpret that as you will. But I just wanted to give him a little pep talk because I think this was against the Islanders, and we have not played in New York yet. And so when they do, I'm giving this pep talk to Mikko, just sort of buckle up because you're going to hear the New York Islanders coach, the Hall of Famer Patrick Waugh himself, lose his ever flippin' mind as Mikko was walking down the tunnel. So I'm going to play the clip and then I'll share sort of what he was saying because he's so fired up. It can be a little hard to hear, but I'll play the clip here.
Now they're going to pick him up. He's in all kinds of pain. And there is some verbal violence going on from the Islander bench.
So, and that was Hall of Famer Razor, who just went into the Razor Ray, who went into the Hall of Fame recently. Okay, but what he said was, we're going to play the game at home in New York, and you're not going to finish the effing game. I promise you that. It's hockey. I love hockey for lots of reasons, but I also love hockey when the other coach can just threaten you with, we're going to beat you up next game. So we'll see you when you come to New York. So Miko, glad you're not suspended. Buckle up and get ready to fight when we go to New York later this season, because they're coming for you.
That's some mafiosa stuff, man. Yeah, we're putting a hit out.
It really is. I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're not finishing that game. Yeah. So that's my pep talk of the week. We're going to do our quick look ahead. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up for the Titans this week. Spoiler alert, it's more heartache. We are hosting the Seahawks, who are 7-3 and just came off a really bad Sam Darnold performance where I think he threw 4 interceptions. But they have such a good culture there that the team immediately picked him up and was like, it's not his fault. We put ourselves in bad position. So like, they're really pissed from this past week. So they're going to come in and just destroy us. What do you think the spread of that game is right now?
Is it in Seattle or is it in Tennessee?
Let me tell you, it's in Tennessee in that vaunted home field advantage.
I'll give you 8.5 points, Seattle.
Oh, I thank you, Zach, for believing in us. That's adorable. The spread is 13.5. Yeah, so that's it's not going to go well. So I'll report next week with the little bit of hope that hopefully I can see from Cam, because that's all I want to see. How about you, Zach?
Well, we have another. Actually, it's a battle for draft position, so I'll say it's an important game. The Browns are at the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams are 2-8. We are chasing the Titans, who are 1-9 for that top spot. It'll be interesting. It's a later game. It used to be fun to watch late games at 4 p.m. You'd be like, oh, this is awesome. It's going to go late. It's, lights are going to come on. It's not that. I just want the game to end.
Just be over.
So this will be Shadur's first start, which is, exciting on one hand and kind of terrifying on the other, just because it's our third quarterback this year to start a game. And I don't know, from an evaluation perspective, Las Vegas is so bad that like the talent level should be fairly equal. We should get an idea of what Shadur can do. But he's also a rookie. He's just like Dylan Gabriel. So they're going to make horrific decisions, terrible throws. And, I just hope to see something so we don't have to draft a third quarterback in 2 drafts, Trevor.
Hey, we're going to come back next week and you're going to say starting quarterbacks for the Browns are 1-17 in their first game.
Let's break some curses, baby.
Let's break some curses. It's time. I feel the hope. Well, that wraps up this week's shift at Misery Sports Co., where every week is a performance improvement plan.
Be sure to follow us on X, or Twitter as it was formerly called. Check out our website, miserysportsco.com, and give us a listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. If it's Apple, if it's Spotify, Pocket Casts, just learned about that one.
Pocket Cast, YouTube.
And let us know which team ruined your week.
We'll be back next time with more pain, more laughs, and maybe, if we're lucky, a moral victory.
Until then, clock out, rest up, and remember, misery loves company.